Sip and chill.
Yo, what's going on, you guys? And we are back. Welcome to Sip and Chill. Tonight is very special. Tonight is date night with Marcus Storm. All right. And when I think of date night, I think of romance, love, the fact that we are together as one. You know, how do we define love? Someone that is affectionate, someone who's going to be real with you, someone who's always going to have your back no matter what. And these two, I'm going to say this, these two really are just a breath of fresh air. Whenever I see them, I got to greet them. Whenever I see them, I got to say, what's up, hello. Whenever I hear from them, I'm just like, oh my God, I needed this. Let me introduce you to Lightz and Karmen. What's up, you two?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
Up? Thank you for the introduction. That was
Yeah,
nice.
like,
Of course.
that was real nice. I feel so good, you know.
No, of course. You guys, first and foremost, welcome to date night with Sip and Chill. You know, you guys have, first off, for the people that don't know, these two, I feel like practically run Cleveland at this point because the fact that they're able to bring so many people together and on some type of peaceful interactions where everybody has fun, showcase their talents, but really get to the nitty gritty of mental health, I think is incredible.
Yes.
You know, but I want to start from the beginning. Okay. I want to know who Lightz is, and I want to know who Karmen is, and then I want to know how you guys came together. So, Lightz, please tell us about yourself, man.
Where do I start? I get so many flashes. I started as a baby. No, I started. I came out the womb. Yeah. I think the identification of Lightz came kind of just being a kid. You know, kind of growing up, just want to be cool. Yeah, man, I try my best to be cool when I grow up, you know, going through a lot of things like bullying and, you know, just a lot of things that kind of our youth and people kind of go through growing up.
Right.
Played a lot of sports, basketball. I played almost every sport, hockey, soccer, a lot of things that you can think of. I was very active, you know, had a good relationship with my peoples, family. Had the bullying thing going on, but that was, my life really started when I turned 15. So I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. That kind of stopped my world. It kind of realized that I was here. I was right on earth and I deal with this. So it started from there and, you know, not taking care of it and blah, blah, blah. And just going through a whole bunch of like things, and while also trying to figure out life. You know, I went to college. I went to a little bit of Kent. I went to Tri-C.
Right.
That's where I met Karmen at.
Hey, Tri-C.
Yeah. Hey,
Cuyahoga community.
Cuyahoga community. Yeah, it's great place to be at. Graduated and then started getting to community work within helping people with diabetes and things like that. Furthermore, just went through a whole bunch of stuff, but really figured out what people wanted. So with my diabetes came a lot of me wanting to help people. And it went from personal training to throwing showcases and, doing really getting out here and trying to help. And now it's gotten to the point now where we, doing events. So I throw a lot of events. One of the big events is Microverse Connects, where, we did this weird pod thing and just really trying to connect people. So I ran with that, and that's kind of who I am now. I'm a big connector while also I'm an explorer too. So we travel a lot, and one of our biggest trips we did 4 months in Jamaica.
Oh, that's amazing.
We traveled to Montreal, California, all over the world also. So a big wanderous person and spirit, and yeah, that's a little bit about me right now. We're going to unveil some more stuff. But,
of course. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Now, let's get to know Karmen.
Yes. My name is Karmen. I would like to say I'm still navigating myself. I'm still exploring different realms of myself that I've, haven't gotten to yet. So I'm still, I would say, learning, but I am entrepreneur. I am also a case manager.
Hey, come on now.
I work with Momentum Behavioral Health. Shout out Denise Wilder.
Hey, Denise.
And I also, I call myself a artist in my own way. Like it comes to fashion. I just put things together, and I'm just me. I'm free, and I live by that. I live by the free way of life. I learned that in Jamaica as well.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, I call myself boring because it's like,
oh yeah, no, y'all are far from boring. Y'all are far from boring.
I'm like, I'm into the books. I'm into like the crime shows and stuff like that. Like I'm really
like
a nerd.
True crime
for real.
or just like
forensic files. You know, like that come on like 1
Yo,
o'clock a.m.
I be waking up, he's scared as heck. Somebody, I'm like, man, Karmen, go lock the door, man. Let's just make sure the door is locked.
Crazy stories on
like
there.
somebody's head getting chopped off and stuff like
Her
that.
head was chopped off. Her legs.
It's interesting. It's very interesting to me. Like I've always been into forensic science. So that's a part of me that I found that is kind of like, it's kind of weird in a way, but like a good weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sister. I'm a big sister. I'm a little sister to 3 older brothers. Yeah. I'm me. I don't know, like.
And that's all. That's all we can be.
Say that.
That's all we can be. Now, how you guys came together? That's the real question now.
Okay, she tells it better. I can just kind of piggyback off here.
Okay.
So we met in Tri-C. So funny thing, my ex from high school, we all went to Tri-C around the same time. He was actually friends with Lamont. At the time.
So I didn't know.
But he didn't know.
Yeah. We get vibe there. This is how I didn't know though, because I was so a player at the time, and you know what I'm saying. I'm so in college. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying. I didn't know. We met, but I didn't know.
He was just having fun. He was outside.
It was kind of a weird little interaction, but we officially kind of started talking on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because his best friend Sage, I also know him from like summer camp and stuff, like from when he was little. Lamont commented up under one of my pictures, and he was like, "What did you say? You said something about." Are you going to
this how much of a player? Wait, first she said this. This how much of a player I was. Like, but I didn't. I was genuine because I really was interested. But I had the ego. Go ahead.
He was like, "Are you going to give me your number or no?"
Wait, that was just straightforward. Not even no conversation. Like,
I mean, like
hey,
it was
how
like
you
a
doing?
hey. Well,
he hit you with
like
the hey,
that,
big head.
but it was like, "Are you going to give me your number or no?" I was like, "Okay." I'm gonna give him a number.
Okay,
I don't know, cause like it was like a fresh start for me, cause I did just get our relationship like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like let's see how this goes. Like he is kind of cute or whatever. So I'm like, all right. So yeah, it started from there. Gave him my number, and now we here.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So it was something. Yeah, because most people like no.
Yeah.
Well, how did you know you were in love?
Well, no, I don't. So,
like, how did you know she was?
It was the energy. I think we talked before and things like that. I am a big person of laughter too. Like, I loved her laugh. She was like cute, like. So back at the time, I was young and I was about 21, you know. So it was the laughter. It was her charm. It was her telling about her stories and things like that. I was very intrigued in it. And it was just something. It's just something that it's that thing that I can't really explain the feeling, but I don't know, the cosmos and the universe had something in store. It was something that I felt that I needed to, okay, let's try it out. You know what I'm saying?
You just needed to explore it.
Yeah. But it's something with the cosmos and the universe. I think when we describe about love and things like that, that's what I felt. That's what I felt. It felt good. And when I looked at her eyes, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah.
This is real.
Yeah.
And it's always the love that catches you by surprise. That's the best type of love.
Yeah.
Because one minute you're like, oh, like, she's cool or whatever, but next minute it's like, I can't live without her. I can't live without him. And I feel like that's the most beautiful thing about it, because you never see it coming.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
And we talk about that a lot, about I think we talk about that a lot, about the whole kind of forcing things. Like a lot of the things kind of will come to you. It's about relations and human relationships in general. They're like that, you know. People are going to come for whatever reason,
right?
Or whatever season or reason, season, or lifetime. Whatever, when a person comes to you, they're there for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It might be it might be as far as romance. It might be to teach you a lesson or whatever. You know, everybody got their own thing, and that this relationship happened to be romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, you can't force what's not supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and we see so many people try that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and do you feel like in today's relationships, in today's dating pool, do you feel like a lot of love nowadays is forced?
I feel like in some cases, yes. Because you have the whole, you know, social media thing that's going on right now with the expectations, you know, for relationships nowadays. And it's like, if you're not meeting this expectation, then I can't be surrounded by you because you're not fulfilling, you know, the things that I think I need, but I'm missing the overall reason of why, you know, God put man and women on this earth, you know?
Exactly.
So I feel like that's a big reason right there why relationships, I feel like people are feeling like they need to be in them, trying to fulfill that hole that they have for themselves, which is something that I struggled with. I was always thinking that I had to be with someone to fulfill the self-love that I didn't give myself when I was, you know, growing up.
No, for sure. It's always that void. You know, people feel like, oh, I gotta be with her, I gotta be with him, and it's always people that always try to rebound after a relationship. You know, people forget that you gotta love yourself before like anything.
That's the worst thing you can do. That's the worst thing you do is go right back into a relationship without like having that time with you and the. I mentioned a lot of the universe and the cosmos because you have to like understand what was going on in the relationship. Why did that happen?
Exactly.
You just jumping into something else. It's actually a kind of sort of, I guess it's a violence against the other person also, like a invisible violent type thing. Like you jumping into that other thing, you're going to, I lost my train of thought. You're going. It's just not a good idea to do that. You got to have time to kind of.
To like find
go back into
again.
yourself, what happened, and just take that time to just and that might take time. It might take. I know the thing about we always speeding. We always got to feel like we got to hurry up and do stuff and blah. Like it might take you a long time to heal from that. It's like a business, right? Everybody think they can just go into it and it's going to make me money in the first 5-4 months. No, you might not see. I've had so many businesses, right? I have like 3 or 4 and I didn't see nothing until like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Each one. Right. You know, and that's the same way of us. Like it takes time to do things. Like, you know, it just be more patient. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Love is patient. Love is kind. Has no bounds. You know, because you guys would do whatever it takes, you know, to be with one another, especially when the universe has put you guys together for a reason.
That's facts.
You know, what is communication when it comes to love, in y'all's opinion?
Communication. Very vital. Very vital in relationships, even friendships, family. You know, communication is key to forming a relationship with anybody. The importance of, you know, talking about your feelings to your partner or to whoever, it shows strength that you have to communicate your problems or issues that you have that's going on. I know in our relationship earlier on, I kind of struggled with communication. I was scared to talk to Lamont about certain issues that I had going on. It was a selfish thing that I was kind of going through, an ego thing that I was going through, that I felt like I was not doing anything, you know, wrong, you know? So I was like, I don't have to talk to you about this thing. But down the line, I start to realize that by not expressing yourself and expressing the feelings that you have going on can lead to a destruction of your relationship.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it did at one point.
You want to expound on it?
Yeah. Me and Lamont.
Only if you're comfortable with it.
Oh no, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah,
just trying to make
Yeah.
sure.
we want this, man. We want this.
So me and Lamont went through a little rough little patch in our relationship, and you can expound on it whenever you want.
Yeah.
I feel like a part of it was from me and my attitude, because let me tell you.
Fire.
You know it's bad when people start shaking their heads.
Yeah, fire. I'm just keep it like that, fire. But I was in my kind of like in a selfish way in my own space. Like I really didn't care about what other people were saying. Lamont, I didn't care about what he was, talking about. I wanted to do things my way and my way only. And it's like, this is a relationship with two people, not just one person. And I had to realize that after we had broken up. We had broken up for like a month, I would say.
Right.
A month. And that time, it kind of made me just sit back and think about, the things that I was doing.
Right.
And because I can be like really mean when I'm like in my I would say in my times of like frustration, I would be really mean, and I wouldn't express myself, and I wouldn't tell them okay, this is the issue that I'm going through. Can you help me? To me, I was like, he not gonna understand. Like, he's not gonna understand what I'm talking about. So why bother even, talking to him?
Right.
And that right there is, to this day, I feel very, very bad that happened. But I have grown so much, in the communication field, that there's nothing that I don't talk to Lamont about.
Right.
And I feel comfortable talking to him about it.
And that came from also, I think, well, first and foremost, that also came from also myself, because, relationship is about, growth. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to be the same person that I was when I was 21. Or, there's things, we keep growing. There's new levels to this whole relationship. So at the time, though, I was I think we was already 3 years in, but we were changing. Right. You know what I'm saying? There was morals. 2020 happened, right? 2020 happened. That had us in thinking about everything. I remember talking about eating dirt. Like, my whole, my whole mindset kind of changed. And, with that, I'm very data driven. I'm very, I'm coming from so many different levels, and I wasn't listening. Like, that wasn't, I at the time that we did this, and she was trying to explain to me about things that was going on, I didn't listen, because I took that role. Like, I'm like, well, I did this research and this, I know, I've done this, so many things, I know. Well, yeah, okay, on the spectrum of events and things like that, I know. But things like where she expertise in, which is that she has an emotional intelligence that I didn't have.
Right.
Even though I'm doing all these crazy stuff, I put myself in the things like I know it all and things like that. And that was with all kind of people. I was losing all kind of people. And it really hurt me, because it was my fiance. You know what I'm saying? It was Karmen. Right. Somebody I've been for 3 years. So she could come to me, and then you get all the build up anger and things like that. So I wasn't easily, I couldn't approach her in that time. And that was we was arguing all the time, and went through some we probably talk about it a little bit more, but we went through a lot of little stuff that happened all at once, and screaming and fighting and we threw stuff at each other, like all that stuff, and
it's pure anger.
Yeah, just pure anger, and it was just, I wasn't because I thought I knew it all. I thought I had everything. And as a man, you want to make sure you have all things in control. But I didn't know I didn't know, but I tried to make it look like I know so I wouldn't seem as I was weak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, that's a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first off, I appreciate you guys sharing that, because I know that was I didn't mean to ask if it was kind of personal.
No, you good. You good. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We like this. Yeah.
Oh, no, for sure. Because it's just like, one thing is like, with love comes emotional intelligence, mental intelligence, and it can affect your mind, your body, and your soul. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And my question to you as well is like, how did you work on your emotional intelligence exactly in order to get it to where it is today?
Wow. So again, my 2020, that was my awakening period. I like to go into that because I went down to the it literally was this day because I've never seen a moment where time froze. I went to what was it? Black Lives Matter, right? And I'm not trying to make this political or anything. It was just where I was at. Yeah, I seen it on Instagram. Yeah, I like.
You're good.
And I went to that, and I've never seen that ever in my life. I've never seen so many people angry, and I think I can explain this how people were in general. I never seen people angry. I never seen people throwing stuff at stuff. I never seen that. There was a moment in time in that event that it was a point where I seen my eyes is getting tear dropped and. I'm spray painting on stuff. I ain't never did none of this stuff, right? But I felt it. And what this was going with a whole bunch of stuff. I ended up quitting my job and at T-Mobile, I instantly just quit it because I was like, man, I'm not doing this no more. Right. So there was a lot of things that happened, and that was my awakening time. So from there, me and Karmen was going on, but also me and Karmen was having an argument, but also I was losing friends little by little. It was not because of them. It was a lot because of the way that I treated, and I didn't have like this emotional intelligence, right? Thing, right? Where I coded myself responsible for things, always talking about myself or, always being angry at something that didn't need to be angry. Because during this time, you're just angry at everything. I was just angry at everything because I was like, man, this is weird. This is why I was just so angry. So it got to a point where I became lonely. I was like the only person in my circle.
Right.
I got no phone calls. Nobody hit me up to go play video games. My closest friends kind of like shoved me off or things like that. I'm not blaming it totally on me, but my friends stopped talking. My phone went zero. I'm like, man, I'm not getting invited to nothing. My sister ended up passing away that year. And I just I took a point where after that, I know exactly when I started. I watched something on TV. No, it wasn't Santa Fe. But I started to see when I was lonely, I had more time myself, obviously. So I started reading for agreements, read a lot of poems. I just read and just researched. I started doing even research on I had ADHD, so I started doing the ADHD thing, and I just started doing really research. I started to take it back to myself because I started everybody around me didn't want to be around me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't look like a bad guy either, but it was just, the people that I really loved didn't want to be around me and things like that. So I just took that initiative to work on it. And because it was off balance, it was affecting everything. Me having anger issues. I'm arguing at people at work. I was the coworker that nobody liked because they were always mad at something.
Man.
Yeah, I was that. I was that dude. Or I was the one that was, awkward in the social thing, and I was the one that was, financially, I was out of it. So that was the one thing that I got. So I knew it was all emotions, and it really, when you spend that time with yourself, it changed everything up. And that's where we at now,
No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And nobody ever wants to be that guy where it's just
the one that you hate. Dude, that dude is irritating, yo.
Yeah. It's they don't even want to work with you. They don't want to hang out with you. We playing ball today?
No.
Nigga, no.
Right. Facts.
No. And it's one of the most annoying things. If I could tell y'all a story real quick.
Yeah.
As y'all know, I do music, podcasting, all that. But I work in banking too. I'm a banker. as you know. And it was one time where I messed up. And like at one point I ended up crashing out of nowhere. They took me to corporate and they were like, you're through, bro. You gotta go. You know, and all of this because I couldn't hone my emotional intelligence. You know, and I was just, and I think about it now, and I'm just like, look how far we have come.
Yeah.
You know, because now I'm a little bit more calmer. Anybody I have an issue with, I put it in my songs.
That's facts.
You know?
That's facts. Yeah.
You got to put it in your
art.
songs.
Yeah.
You know, and art's everything.
How can I live when I got no fucking time? Can't get a bitch, gotta save all of my dimes. They think I'm broke, but the truth is they not lying. Gotta stay woke so I can seek it through the lines. I've been working way too hard to earn a couple grand. Every fucking month I lose.
As we're on the topic of art, I know you guys have such an amazing group right now.
Oh yeah.
And you guys came up with this group together. You know, it's called It's Okay to Think on a Weekday.
Yep.
Correct.
It's
Yes.
long on purpose.
No, I'm
Not shorten it.
And I'm so happy it is, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Since I've known you two, since I came to that first event, nothing's been the same. I've been working on my emotions more. I've been working on my mental health more. You know, coming from a guy with a degree in the mental health field, you know, I still, as a man, as a young Black man, I still have so much more work to do. And you guys have helped me with that. And for that, I'm going to shake both of y'all's hands. You know,
Wow.
Tear up a little bit.
No, you guys have really helped me
Yes.
for the better.
Yeah,
you know, and I feel like the masses need to know about this group that you guys have. Tell us about it, man. How did you guys start it? And how did you guys start it? Where did the idea come from? And how could people join?
Jamaica.
Wanna start?
And we got to talk about that trip to Jamaica too, by the way.
So fast forward, man. We so again talking about that time, I guess that kind of got us into traveling. So we 2020, so we ended up getting back together, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh.
We ended up getting back together.
You said sorry, right?
Yeah. Oh, man, roses. We did the ballroom dancing, all that, man. It was great.
fun.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that too, but go ahead.
Yeah. But we ended up back together. I think Karmen, she really, I mean, I'm working on my stuff, but Karmen, she started, you know, doing different stuff and really, you know, after that time she really changed.
I can kind of elaborate a little bit on that time of me changing.
Go ahead.
I remember, like, to this day, the exact moment that, like, it was like a switch that, like, just went off, you know? So this was my first time, you know, ever doing mushrooms. I did
Hold on. Mushrooms?
Yeah. Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stuff work.
Oh.
Yeah. That is another. Yeah,
Psychedelics.
we didn't talk too much about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not condoning anything, but I did my first trip. And it was very enlightening. Like, I kid you not, I tell everybody the same story. I remember, like, it was like a dark cloud I seen come from me. Like, literally come from me. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what the heck was that? And, like, as soon as it left, I felt so much lighter, so much clear. Like my mind was so clear. And it's like I felt myself change, like just fully change. And after that trip, I just started changing my life, like changing my lifestyle, changing, you know, how I act, how I talk, you know, what I look at, what I listen to, who I be around, who I listen to.
That's
you know?
important.
And that definitely changed me for the better. Like I came so far, as far as, like, you know, who I was, and, you know, going through some attitude adjustments and stuff like that. Like it really definitely changed me. And from that day on, like I never been the same. I'm always elevating now.
So
I'm always going up. Yeah.
So and then from that, it's just like, you know, I'm on my journey. She's on her journey. Because we both did. That actually helped too. I went to New York. I went to New York and we did shrooms and things like that. So again, I'm not whatever, but we did that. And then when we started venturing out, we started looking at stuff on TV and we got back together. We went to New York and we start looking at stuff. We're like, we gotta start traveling. Like now I want to learn more because now we in this place of like learning and like seeing that like all these new things that we've been gotten a book and, you know, all these things we learning about stuff. We're like, we gotta learn more. And you know, Cleveland don't got all the answers. And you know, so we start traveling. We go to New York. We're going to Philly, Los Angeles, Montreal. We start just traveling, taking a trip in my old 2010 Hyundai, like is barely surviving.
Hey, don't come for Hyundai.
Yeah. Okay,
Don't come
but
for
it was an old model. But we started traveling, and then one of the spots that we went to was Santa Fe, New Mexico. We drove there. We literally drove there, and it was out of nowhere. We like, yo, we looked this on TV. All right, bet. We didn't have no money. We literally had like I had quit my job, so we had DoorDash though. So, but people don't know DoorDash. You can DoorDash in every city that you go to.
Oh, of course.
So we stopped in St. Louis.
In every city.
Had $20, DoorDash for gas to get to the next place. Took a risk because we didn't have no money if anything happens. And we just left. And that was like one of the magical trips. And then we just knew that we liked traveling. So we started traveling, camping, all that stuff. So we starting to develop that, start hiking and things like that. So we get to a point, it's like an extra 2 years or whatever. And, you know, life and all the stuff that's happening. And, you know, so the story actually starts here from the brand is, and if y'all want to get more into the relationship thing. So I didn't know, but my diabetes start really giving me complications.
Right.
So I'm going through, you know, my leg is scaly up and I'm having high blood sugar in my eyes, just all the complications that come with it. And also, I was developing a tumor. So I had the hormonal changes. It was a pituitary tumor, which is, it blocks hormones and it blocks like, so it's a distributor. What the pituitary do is basically a distributor. So all the hormones come to it and the pituitary gland basically tells it where to go.
Right.
If that's blocked, then the hormones can't do it. So that's your growth, testosterone. That is a lot of little things that can mess you up if it don't get to where it need to go, right?
Right.
And I started developing. It's the size of a pea. Still dealing with it, but it's shrinking. So
thank God.
Yeah. But that's where it started. So we go. I'm dealing with that. I'm dealing with a whole bunch of other stuff, and I'm just getting fed up because I'm still trying to do the whole life thing, right?
Right.
So from there, we started. So we was like, man, we gotta go somewhere else. And Karmen was going through some things, mentally, and we were just off balance in so many areas, and we just like, yo, we gotta go. We gotta do something. We gotta go do something. And we left to Jamaica, and it's kind of where the brand started. We was kind of off balance. I mean, I'm weighing like 126, right? Mm-hmm. Just really out the whack, you know, brain fog, can't do nothing, and then we left for Jamaica, and we talking to like Rastas and Maroons and you know, a lot of little things out there, and
talking with the locals, you know, just being surrounded by them, and just we actually kind of like immersed ourselves in the community.
Right.
That means like, you know, living like them, like getting food like them. And
what part of Jamaica were y'all in?
All of it.
Everywhere.
Even Kingston?
Yeah.
Yep. Kingston, Montego, Negril, Treasure Beach. We was over there a little bit of Bob Marley's place. With shout out to that, man. It's the most colorful. You talking about how dull it makes Cleveland look? Mm-hmm. It is one of the most brightest places. It is so beautiful where Bob Marley is from.
All right, guys, you got to check that out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, please.
But yeah, just being by the water, getting the tent on the water and things like that. And just, really taking a lot of the things and applying to our life and, healing. And we were healed. Like I said, I was able to float after the trip. And we got a lot of answers, And we came back and, and I'll say it like this, bro. We met people. Let me give you 3 things that we seen. We met people, first and foremost, that might have been, this might sound crazy, but we don't know how old they were. They might have been like 140, 150 years old. These people are so old, handing out herbs and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Meeting people. We shout out to the place that we was at, Good Earth Farms. People that I've gotten to hang around with, like Bob Marley, live with Sade, people like that. Wow. Where music is like, it's different there. It's like, it's really like, they talking about the political things that come. These people like, talking to these people that have done music with them.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica. Yeah.
He's a Chinese Jamaican.
Yes, he was a Chinese Jamaican. Even seeing that, just a Chinese Jamaican.
Yeah.
A Chinese Jamaican. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you after.
Please.
But Chinese Jamaican. He was just so Chinese. Wise. But it was so wise. And we go back down there. But just that and just knowing what we can do with our this human experience that we have. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like we can really live that movie thing. And that's where we was at. We had $800. We ran out ticket money. All that, and we figured it out. But everything it was a movie. Mm-hmm. It was an actual movie, and it was so beneficial. And we got back and, So we got back and
mm-hmm. We got back, and then we was like, you know what, like we should create a community where we can invite different people to come and speak about, mental health and things that they have going on. So that's when we was like, you know what? All right, let's create it. Mm-hmm. And then Lamont out of nowhere was like, you know what? Like we should call it It's Okay to Think on a Weekday, because people always think during the week we don't have the time, to sit down and think about these things. We have work. Some people have children.
Right.
But we're like, you know what? Let's stop that. We actually do have time to think on a weekday,
Yeah.
So that's when we came up with that name, and we went from there.
Yeah, I'm saying, and to further elaborate on that is like, when we mean by that is like, we can have these complex, because sometimes we work so much and we're trying to solve an issue, but in that time, the whole grind period is like Monday, Friday, we doing all 50, 60 hours a week on this thing. And where is the time? And then you got to sleep, and then, but them conversations in between that time can help you not work as much, or
exactly,
or whatever. And we was like, okay, well, if people start thinking about this and this, and we talking about this, well, it will make things a lot easier. How about we just, y'all ever sit down and just be like, man, okay, what if we just work together and you pay $100, you pay $100, we sitting on what's the name, and that would make your whole budget for the month go down, or less work that you got to do. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Why are we not talking about these issues? Why do we not? We live in a community where everybody pays, or no, it's not even that. It's not everybody pays. What can you do? Mm-hmm. Our job was down there was to feed the people that came to the farm that we lived on, right?
Right.
So that was our job. It wasn't I needed money or whatever, right? It was just like, what can you do, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna well, you can be a part, and everybody ate at the end of the day.
Right.
But our job was to serve food or take them around town, and at the end of the day, we all worked together. Or somebody else's was to build a home, or somebody was to I think Joe Mike was Joe Mike was a little bit of everything. He cutting the grass or whatever, it's and then somebody handled the finances, what his son was.
Right.
Why are we not having these conversations? Why can't we have these conversations? Why can't we just plan it out a little bit? How? So we but we know the complex of that, you got the trauma and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you got people that ain't had time to sit down and be around people. We just meditating. We just doing all this. We just vibing. We just being present. We being our genuine self.
Yeah. It feels like whenever I'm there and whenever I see you guys in action doing this, everybody just puts down the armor that they have, the shield they have, the mask that they have, and they feel like they can be themselves. Just even sitting down and doing just meditation for like 5 minutes.
That's it.
It's just like there's something that just releases out of you. Just stress, strain, whatever happened to you yesterday doesn't matter. Whatever problems you have at home don't matter right now. You get to be around people of like minds who actually care about you.
Yep.
And of course, my favorite part was the open mic too. Because like you're just around people who don't even know you. Yeah. That want to get to know you.
As a person that's doing anything, that's how you want people to feel. Right. That's what we like. That's the whole thing. We was gonna talk about respect, but like you want to be treated how everything. It shouldn't be so much like you should address everything there. Like when people come, you should be cool and we vibe and there's no political anything or anything attached. Just be yourself and let's vibe and let's create and let's show you what love is. Bring your kid, And there's a lot of great organizations that's out here. We just add to the piece. We're not reinventing anything. We just, doing what, we don't know what we're doing, but we know we're just putting people together. And
I have an idea of what y'all are doing. No, I'm serious. I know what y'all are doing. You guys are changing the perspective of what real peace, love, happiness, and tranquility can be in this city. Y'all should definitely be proud of yourselves.
Yeah.
You guys, here's one thing. If you guys don't see it, I see it, okay? You guys are doing something bigger than yourself, and you're changing a lot of lives,
That's facts.
I wouldn't just tell you, like, you guys are helping me change my life for the better if I didn't say anything. I definitely had to, like, acknowledge y'all on that. Since you guys are this new piece of the puzzle in the city, how important is it to network your brand? I ask guests this all the time.
I get.
I think one importance is to be able to share what you do bring to the community to other brands that offer the same thing. Like we just came from an event a couple of days ago, networking event. And it was for nonprofits, and it was pretty amazing that there are a lot of nonprofits, Black-owned nonprofits out here that's trying to do similar things that we're doing. So I think it's good to be able to explore and gain those connections with other brands that offer the same thing. No one's better than no one. Like we're all doing the same work,
right?
Which is God's work. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah, I'm to add to her. It's very important to network the brand, and what I found is the traditional stuff works. I thought. And this is where I was at as being I host really big events and things. And I just always do the Instagram and all that stuff. But the traditional door-to-door, I did a 300-person event. And I did the traditional with this. Like I only posted a couple times. You look at this post and only had like 20 people on there. That maybe 20 to 30 people that liked on this page. But I had almost 300 people that showed up. You know what I'm saying? And what I did was I got a whole bunch of papers. And I freaking went to the library and I printed them up and I just stuck them on people's cars. And I stuck them in people's mailboxes, like just regular paper. It didn't have fancy stuff and it have none of that. And I just stuck it in people's cars. And then I worked at a coffee shop. I worked at Loop Coffee Shop. And I'm just, come to my event. Come to my event. This is the old stuff
word
works.
To mouth,
word of mouth. That stuff works. We ain't got to all to do the whole marketing and all that stuff. You just going out there and go, and then also showing your face out into these organizations. Like we go to shout out Neighborhood Up, these meetings where they have the community there and the people that really, really need the help.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So really showing up to that, showing up to these grassroots meetings, really, and I know we can't make that all of them, but you're really getting you a team, you know what I'm saying? And y'all under, you know, a positive thing, and y'all just, okay, well, I can't make that, but can you make that? Oh, I'm sure I can. And y'all, you know, but the old school marketing, it really does work. You know,
it definitely does. I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Word to mouth sometimes still works better than social media. Because your social media, you could text and type all day. So only a select few people can like it unless you have a very strong social media presence.
Right.
But that word to mouth, you're in their face and they can't walk away.
Exactly.
And if they do, they're considered rude. And
And they feel you too. Like people feel you. Like they feel good energy. Are you doing the right thing? They will really, you become fans of your work. And you know, if you can, you know, if you're really out there and doing the work, and they really feel that, you know.
Oh no, for sure. For sure. You know, as I said, it's been awesome having you guys on. I appreciate you guys.
Yes.
For sure.
You know, my last question to you guys tonight is, if you guys can not just do, but if you can give advice to somebody who is trying to find the word love, you know, what is the first thing they need to do in finding the partner of their dreams?
Simply, you have to look within first. You have to love yourself first. Love God, you know, because God is self. So, finding that self-love, that will start the navigation process.
Right.
Of finding that person.
Yeah, I'm right with her. Just, you know, really know yourself. And then, everything will follow, you know. Trust the universe. I know that sounds crazy, but like, I would definitely say, know yourself first. Know yourself first, and make sure you truly know what you are looking for. And like I said, trust in the universe, everything else will follow. That person will come. And, and they might not be in the same state. You know what I'm saying? They might be look for something unpredictable, because you don't know what's going to happen.
And that's the best. The best type of love right there. That's the best type of love. I appreciate you guys coming on, man. Sure. The fact that y'all made time for me, you know, I'm honored. And for that, I thank you guys. You know,
thank you.
For sure.
Thank you for
we thank you.
No,
thank God.
Hey, no, for sure. For the people who don't know, the women that want to know, and the ladies here for a good show, and the people here for a good show. This has been Sip and Chill Date Night. Lightz, Karmen, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me personal page at LGHTZ___. So that's my personal
That's
page.
A lot of underscores.
Right.
Man.
You tag that in. Put it in the thing. Lightz. Yes.
And you can also find me Casually Karmen. Casually is spelled with a K. And then I have 2 underscores. Yeah, 2 underscores. So Casually Karmen and 2 underscores on Instagram.
And then our brand?
Yeah, the brand.
Yeah,
too,
our brand is called It's Okay to Think on Weekday. It's literally. So the OK is a O and a K. So it's ITSOKTOON.
You gonna spell it all the way out.
Yeah, we gonna put it up. Yeah, y'all put it in there. Yeah.
Awesome, you guys. Yes. Till then, I'm Marcus Storm.
Lightz.
Karmen.
And we'll see y'all soon, all right? This is Sip and Chill. Good night.
Good night. Peace.
Protect your peace, king. Yeah. Protect your peace, king. Protect your peace, king. Protect your peace, king. Protect your peace, king.
Yeah. Starting from the surface. My purpose was never worthless, but see me working with the power exerting. I'm certain I'm never lurking but smirking. I see these haters be hurting. Niggas see I'm just a hell of a guy with no lies detected, suspected like a detective. I'm finding memories selected if they don't know the boy. Oh joy, protect your peace, king. Niggas test your patience about it all and about anything. Protect your peace, king. Protect your peace, king. Niggas will try you about anything. Come on, protect your peace, king. Protect your peace, king. Living rent-free without doing a thing. Protect your peace, king. Protect your peace, king. Niggas will try you about anything. Come on, protect your peace, king. Protect your peace, king. Living rent-free without doing a thing. Yeah, and nothing was the same. Niggas talking crazy.